Hardik Pandya is a good example of the fact that nobody said that, okay, listen, we want him to lead because he can be a future India captain in that sense. But he did lead. He won the tournament in terms of his own role, batting higher up the order, which may not be where he bats for Team India. It still sort of rubs off on national team.
It does. I completely agree with DK what he's saying. It was my thought was just a radical. Can we, IPL franchise? Yeah, it is very difficult to, fit in those players wherever Indian team wants them to play. But yeah, Hardik's it's a very interesting thought. Having spoken to Ashish Nehra when he appointed Hardik Pandya as captain, I said, "What were you thinking?" I said, I think I needed someone who could listen to me because they obviously had those conversations, and Hardik is someone who wanted to prove a point as well at that point of time when he wasn't retained by MI, so and he had worked really hard on his fitness, he had worked really hard on his batting and bowling both, so he wanted to prove that point, and you basically want players who are hungry enough, who wants to do well at this highest level. And Hardik's character is someone who likes challenges, who likes someone he likes to be thrown into deep water, and you will often see him coming out swimming in that. So I think that's something is that character is very, very important, and that's something which Hardik has. And when you have a tournament like which he had, you can carry that confidence. This game is all about confidence, and we often talk about momentum, which is the cliche word which has become, but the momentum is huge. If you have that momentum and confidence with you, you can go out with at any number and do the job for them.
You've got your own version of the word, don't you?
Yeah, the momentum is, so we are banned to call momentum in Hindi. So it is Gati Matra. Gati Matra. So it is Gati Matra.
It's banned in the English studio as well. So we just have to find a synonym for it.
It's a synonym, yeah.
So we'll maybe sneak in Gati Matra here as well. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned Hardik in terms of his batsmanship. But yeah, when he was appointed captain, I remember the first reaction was when he looked at all the franchises as, okay, fine, he's there in the team, but as captain? And he answered that.
I think I was doing a small piece for Cricbuzz, and I was one of the few genuinely felt he'll be a terrific leader because I know him very, very well personally. I've spent a lot of time with him. I think for a couple of reasons. He's a people's person. I think he gets the pulse of people, and I think he had a lot of hurt in him. I think he really was upset with what had transpired just before that, and he wanted to really show the world how good he is. He had been injured, he was coming back, he was training, and you could see all of that culminated into something special for him. But the key being, I think he was a bit like clay. I think Ashish Nehra in many ways molded him to be the captain that he could be. But more importantly, I think he has the pulse of understanding people, and that's a very important aspect of captaincy. I think empathy and understanding how to use a player are two very key things in cricket. And I think in both those boxes, he has a rather large tick, and he is somebody who is very loved in the team. He has a lot to offer as a leader, and he understands the game very, very well. I think his ability to pick up on situations and to do something special is something that is going to keep him in good stead for a very, very long time. And I have no doubt he'll be a rather successful captain.
I like both the references to our colleague from Cricbuzz Live, Ashish Nehra. One saying he wanted someone who could listen to him, and the other who could mold him. That just, I think, sums up Ashish Nehra more than it sums up Hardik Pandya. We know we have to listen to him every time he speaks, and we all get molded by him. But that's Ashish Nehra for you. But interesting to pick up on that. There was a time when people might say, okay, look, possible future captain of India. Now, after what he's done with Gujarat, you'd have to say that possibility translates to much more as a potential future full-time T20 captain. For sure.
Yeah, I think he has emerged as probably number one choice. As DK mentioned earlier in the show, there are about 6 or 7 captains who had captain India because of various other reasons. But I think out of all of them, I think the Hardik Pandya is in my book has emerged as number one. Probably if Rohit is not leading the side, then Hardik Pandya will definitely be in future would be leading the T20 side. So probably it won't be a bad idea to have complete different T20 side where you reboot the every aspect of the even the coaching staff you can say for that matter. So you need a different perspective here, and as Hardik is someone who's done really well, who's had success as a captain, and even is well respected in the team because of what he does and because of kind of efforts he puts in on the ground. So yeah, no, he's definitely has emerged as, probably not possibly. I think he would be number one choice if at this point of time if Rohit's not leading the side.